Welcome to episode 20 of the Action Takers podcast. I'm your co-host, Nate. Got JC here with us as always. How you doing, JC?
It's about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry. We devour. Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours.
It's it's a little hungover. Okay, last episode on the show, I was like, I think I'm gonna stop drinking. Well, then the 4th of July hit, and it's just an abundance. It's absolute abundance. As crazy and as shitty as this world has just gone to, the 4th of July is absolutely a fucking heart attack I needed. I mean, drank way too many beers, shot off way too many fireworks, had too good of a time. It's one of those things that I'm just now recovering. How about you, buddy?
It was a great time. We started early, like around 1. So I paced myself. I made sure I drank lots of water and soda in between my alcoholic beverages because I didn't want to just go hard and pass out and wake up like at 8 o'clock and be all groggy. So I made sure I paced myself, stayed awake the whole time, and I had a good time. Hamburgers, hot dogs, and good food.
Oh yeah, dude. So me and my neighbor, we ventured out and we got some fireworks, and we went to the legit fireworks store where we're buying boxes of mortars, and he's telling me, oh, you got to get this, you got to get that, and I fucking spent way too much money, and we go ahead and we start shooting off fireworks, and it lasts 15 minutes, and we've got some fireworks that are they're launching 120 feet in the air, they're big, they're really big fireworks, to a point where one of our California native neighbors fucking were having almost a panic attack. They're like, can we stop aiming at our house? You're gonna burn this shit down. And anyways, so we started our fireworks show, we ended it, cleaned everything up. The dude down the street went for an hour and a half, spent $10,000 on fireworks, and fucking gave us the biggest fireworks show I've ever seen in my life. Maybe I'll add the photo to the podcast, the YouTube show. Dude, his driveway the day after was filled with boxes of fireworks. And these are legit fireworks. These are fucking Disneyland fireworks. It was fucking crazy.
And you go offer to haul away as trash for a nice little fee?
Yeah, right? Shit.
And then pressure wash the ground after.
Dude, that was another thing that fucking happened this week that was just crazy. And maybe we'll get into the show about relationships and stuff, but I've made such a good relationship with our HOA that they just call me. They're like, hey, some asshole, they don't say asshole, but some person dumped a king-size mattress, 2 box springs, and a metal box on the side of the road. Can you go pick it up and haul it to the dump? And I'm like, sure, no problem. Easiest $200 I've ever made in my life. I took it to a dump that was free. It cost me about 9 nickels in gas because it was right down the street. It was absolutely the one thing I learned this week is you build really, really good relationships and you get people to like you. They just fucking want to help you out. It's incredible.
Oh, yeah. Especially with stuff like that, right? Because someone I'm sure can easily do it themselves, but they don't want to, right? So they pay you. They don't have to worry about it. And I mean, hauling away stuff is a good business model because sometimes people are getting rid of stuff that's easily good. You can just flip it, they're paying you to take the stuff and then you can still make money selling it.
If it didn't fucking rain on the goddamn mattress, I probably would have sold it. I probably would have put it on Facebook Marketplace and fucking, I would have, we'll haul it away for $200 and then I'll turn around and sell it for $50. But unfortunately it gave us a little Georgia rain and it fucking was soaked. But yeah, dude, there's opportunities all out there. You just got to fucking open your eyes. I ventured down to our storage unit, did a little maintenance there. And then we ventured to one of our properties and I needed to wash it. And so I tried this new technique out called downstreaming to soft wash the side of the house. And dude, I fucked up. Oh my God. I did not understand the strength of bleach. At one point in time, the renter, the tenant, and then the lawn guy that was taking care of the lawn, they're like, dude, you got a good mix going. We can smell the bleach from down the street. This shit was just caking off. It was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. It was remarkable on what bleach will fucking do to mold and mildew.
I bet. I'm sure. I don't know how much of that is the environmental people get mad going all into the ground, but at least it's
Oh
clean.
no, it in Georgia, like we are authorized to use whatever fuck, like you can use the highest concentrate of bleach. It's called sodium hyperchloride. It's 12.5%. Like in California, you would go to prison if you had this fucking strength. Like it does just absolutely, it does an incredible job. And you can buy it at Walmart. It's like it's like a couple bucks a gallon. It's incredible.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so we tend to we soak the ground down with plenty of water, and then we spray the house, and then we gently rinse it off. We try not to let it go into any streams or creeks or lakes, or drains. So we're a responsible business owner. We just sometimes you use a little hot mix, and it wakes up the rest of the neighborhood.
Hey, like I said, at least they know you're cleaning, bettering the house, bettering their value of the neighborhood, right? I mean, it's keeping it
Oh
clean.
yeah.
Uh,
It's dude, it's one of those things. Like the area that we invested in is one of those areas in the country that's just like you would never know that this city even existed, but the people in it are just some of the best people in the world. Like just wholesome good people. Like one of the guys was like, "Yeah, I actually booked a guy to actually do this, and you're the owner, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Dude, I was just gonna have it done. Like, hey, you guys take care of us." And I'm like, "Dude, I all I do is cash your check." Like it is incredible. Like these people, the hospitality down here is pretty remarkable. And it just, dude, it makes me want to invest even more.
well, I think that's the amazing part, like about the U.S. is like there's just so many areas like that, right? That are we're so consumed of what we know and the nearby areas, but there's tons of gems around the United States of great places, great people, and I think I know I don't get out enough and go to these places and go on vacations and explore enough of the U.S., which is like one of my goals is to obviously I want to go to all the states and see all the great things that we have, and definitely enough people don't do that. So it's I mean that's just showing like I said, a little sample of what is out there in the greatness of the U.S.
Dude, it as like bad as the news was on July 4th with the Chicago incident, and I don't want to get into that because I was listening to one of my like golf podcasts listener, and they weighed in on it, and I'm like, dude, you're such an idiot. Like you have no fucking clue. You have no clue what you're talking about. Like, and it just, let's not get into that part, but like it just is shocking to me that like we live in the greatest country in the world and really bad shit is happening around us. And all I want to do is just go and like help people. And that's a weird, like, I don't know if that's weird or not, but dude, I just feel horrible. And but at the same time, it's like it makes me want to go and do bad things to bad people, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and I think the every time the these holidays come around, especially like this one, this right now, believe it or not, how crazy it is. Yeah, looking at stuff on social media, like this is such, I don't know why, a controversial holiday, the independence of our country, which is the greatest country on this earth. And is it perfect? No, but it's been the greatest for hundreds of years. It's way more, advanced, has way more opportunities for everyone. Um, but yeah, I think the biggest thing that across the board is that just people's standards are lower. Personal excellence, and we talked about this episode. I think everyone, if they just would raise their personal excellence, their level, their standard, it would just make it for a better place. I think that's the more I listen to or around these teenagers and younger people, and just so many people, I know people that are 18, 19, 20 years old. They don't work. They hang out and just smoke weed all day. I don't know, for me, I've been working since I was 14. So and I just been doing that. The thought of like graduating high school, I went to college, which is debatable if it's a good thing to do, but nonetheless, I've been working and contributing to society, and there's so many people right now that have just these low standards that don't contribute to society, that are causing havoc, whether it's the transient population exploding, drug use, alcohol use, just all these different things, of where our society, the whole standard of society is just dropped. And I think it adds to all these incidents that happen, around the US, and social media and the news media like to, like, make more of them than they are, or focus on the wrong part of it, not what's really going on with mental health stuff and, like I said, lower standards of people.
But do you think it has something to do with the wealthy people in this world? Like, because the more I think about it, and like the more I analyze, how to get, incredibly wealthy, to either leave a legacy back, down to my kids, grandkids, or whoever, dude, it just shocked me that our country, as great as it is run by a handful of people. Maybe it's run by like 100 people, and these are some of the wealthiest people in the world. And I'm hesitant about the theory of like, I mean, if you're going to produce a country and you need employees and you need some fucking sheep that just, hunker down and they fucking get in this cattle gate and then they just fucking get herded around. I think people are hurting us right now. Like, at least for me, like the state of California, like they're enabling more people than motivating people to go out and do cool shit. Back in the Great Depression, like the government was like hiring people to do incredible jobs in the United States. Like, we had the most bridges built during that time frame. It's because the government, it's like, dude, we gotta kick this shit in gear. Now it seems like the opposite, where we're not focusing on the work ethics. We're focusing on the fucking blame everyone else except yourself. And to those people, I would quickly say, get up off your fucking ass or leave the country. Because good God, go be a dirtbag somewhere else. Because you're right, dude. Like, there are not a lot of motivated people in this world willing to put in some fucking hard work. It frustrates the hell out of me. Like, I go into some of these cities, inner cities, and it just seems like, the mass media, the government, the wealthy people in the area are just suppressing, not necessarily thoughts, but like suppressing the idea of being prosperous. You know what I mean? Like, I used to look at the guy who was riding around in a limo going, that guy's the man. He's the hero. Now the fucking youth are like, oh, he's just selfish. He's a racist. He's homophobic. And, all he thinks about is money. And all he does is think about enslaving people. And I'm like, fuck, like, what's wrong with this world?
I mean, there's probably a ton of topics we can touch on that. But yeah, as far as the government goes, I mean, there's a lot of enabling, and what people don't realize, I mean, there's just a lot of corruption, right? I mean, how tell me how these lifelong politicians who get paid a salary of $100,000 a year or 120, whatever it is, and they come out, they come in as average people. They start out as a lawyer, whatever, right? Middle class, and they're getting out of the politics, with net worths of hundreds of millions of dollars, 50 million, like where, the backdoor deals. I mean, California is notorious for these things of the money that we put into homelessness, right? I saw like they're building this 800, it was like 800 unit or 200 unit. Anyways, whatever they were building for homeless, the cost per unit was like $200,000. $200,000 for a one bedroom unit in this 200 unit where no private company would spend that much money. You can build a house for 200, like a legit 3-bedroom 2-bath house for $200,000. How is a 1-bedroom unit for a homeless person costing $2,000? So, where does that excess money go? I think, and I can make an argument that's even, these people have lower standards for themselves because they're willing to sell out their communities, their states, the country, for this money that they're going to get made, or someone that they know is going to get paid. So, and they'll eventually get their hands on that money. So, I think that's where, it really needs to start. And there are people that are trying to get into and get these lifelong politicians out, and why I think term limits are good, no matter whether it's Senate or Congress. I think 8 years across the board would be good, because then you can never be in there long enough to we need everyday people in there, not people that it's not a career, right? When it was originally started, it wasn't started to be as a career. They were still farmers, they were still blacksmiths, they were still whatever they did politics for a certain amount of time. And at one time it has switched over to where it's become a job. It's a 6-figure salary on top of, like I said, these people are corrupt and are getting money from other places. And, it just doesn't make sense. Nancy Pelosi, right? She lives in an $8 million house in San Francisco where, like I said, but her salary is $100,000 a year, but her, obviously, her husband, I'm sure, has gotten money, and they've gotten money, and she has a net worth of, I don't know what it is, but it's at least $40-50 million when she's, the money's not there. And
well, Nancy Pelosi's a fucking, like, if you would just in the last 10 years have followed her like exact trades and just invested this, you'd make $100 million. Like, just because it just seemed like she had the fucking cards read before anyone else did. And I think we need to put a fucking stop to that. Like, I'm sick and tired of this bullshit. And I think what we can take away from politicians is the sheer fact that they do get paid $100,000 to be a politician. But I think what they get the most of, and I think you and I can take away from this, is attention. These fuckers get so much goddamn attention that, like, there is no other choice. Like, they're the ones in front of everyone. They're the one that are, like, always in front of the camera. They're the ones that are always pressing their fucking rhetoric. They're always, and as a business owner or as an entrepreneur or solopreneur or a fucking content creator, dude, it's just about fucking attention. Because the more attention you get, the more shit you can sell, and the more money you could make. And then you go live on a fucking beach somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, that is the basis of everything, right? Is attention and people seeing your product or seeing your service, seeing what you do. So yeah, get to creating that content if you're not, which I know I've been slacking on. But
dude, it's the content game. Oh my gosh, dude. I think the one lesson I've learned in the last like 3 days about producing content is when you have a piece go semi-viral, and viral to me is like thousands of views, not hundreds of millions of views, but dude, there's fucking so many goddamn haters out there. Like, if you put your opinion out there, or if you have an opinion that's different than someone else, these fucking people have no problem calling you idiots, fools, toads. Some guy called me some racist shit too, and I'm like, dude, what the, what are you doing? Like, this is fucking TikTok. This isn't CNN. Like, what the hell's going on? Like, I'm talking about golf. I'm not talking about anything fucking really that controversial. Like, it just cracks me up. I feel like in the content game, you've got to have these fucking blinders on that just absolutely eliminate any negativity. Because all the fucking people are doing, like, the only way these fucking trolls win is for you to stop producing content. Because of the one thing that they fucking said. And these keyboard warriors, oh my gosh. If I could see them at Walmart, I'd punch them right in the fucking teeth. And I wouldn't even have to punch them. I would just fucking lynch at them, and they would fucking fall down on the ground because they would shit themselves. Because they just have no backbone at all. And they just, I don't know. It just drives me crazy. But at the same time,
people living in their.
But at the same time, like, you look at it and you're like, I love the engagement. I love the attention. Like, keep giving it to me. I'm fucking I hate to say it, I'm kind of addicted to it. I like kind of like battling these fuckers.
Hey, any attention is good attention, right? I mean, whether it's negative or positive, you're getting attention. I mean, and to an effect, you're winning over them, right? You're getting them to engage. So, I mean, like you said, the engagement's up, and it's not. You look at these people. I think, like we were talking before we started recording, they have like 5 followers and haven't posted a video, and it's all there are trolls. They're living in their parents' basements, haven't done anything, probably overweight, depressed, or I hate the world because they were told that they were going to be winners and they didn't have to do anything, and they're not. So, all it is, we're doing the stuff that we want to do. And yeah, like you said, have your blinders on, or just know that these aren't the contributing people of society, right? These aren't the people that are coming up with ideas, that are creating content, valuable content.
They're not innovators. They're not willing to put their neck out there. The one I was reading a book about this shit, and the one quote that I caught onto, and I can't remember who it was from, or I'd quote them, but it reads this: It goes, your opinion of me is none of my business. And dude, that just hit home for me because I'm like, fuck, like, I don't give a shit about your opinion. Like, it's not even my business. Like, have your opinion, do it, have your whatever you want to say. Dude, that's up to you. But I'm gonna keep fucking going. So I don't know. I thought that was a useful quote.
Well, so I just read the 4 agreements, and one of the agreements, talked exactly about that, of like, people's opinion are their opinions of themselves. It's that has no reflection on you. It's usually a reflection on them, these things that they say about you. So, which I highly recommend that book, The 4 Agreements. It definitely has some good perspective on some things, especially, being kids or growing up, and how we raise our kids. It really made me really want to adjust things I'm doing. But yeah, and that's one of the things, right? People's opinions are usually of us are more a reflection on themselves. So you just gotta let it roll off. Let's say water roll off your back, or however they say the quote. Just roll with the punches, because they're first of all, these people, they're not contributing it, and it's more a reflection on them.
It just fucking drives me crazy. These fucking people. Oh my gosh. And then, so I thought I had it bad. As I'm sulking in I'm fucking writing them back. Every comment, every negative comment, I'd fucking respond. Just throwing them out, throwing out facts, and giving them, because it's not even in my opinion. I was just kind of like, half jokingly fucking talking shit about this particular golf league. And then after I upload the video, fucking answered a couple comments, and I got to Dave Portnoy, and he's doing his fucking stooly fucking president pizza review. And the video is just this fucking crazy lady over her fence screaming at him like, "You're such a misogynistic fucking prick. I hope Barstool fucking falls down to the fucking tube. You're gonna go bankrupt. You're a rapist." And he's like, "What? This ain't going anyway. I've been doing this for fucking 20 years. You can't hurt me." And she just lost her mind. And she's like, "Oh yeah, keep fucking filming." He's like, "Fuck yeah, I am. It's gonna be great content." And it just fucking cracked me up. Like, you could have it so much worse. Like, what he is like in the world of fucking sports. I mean, Dave Portnoy is a guy, love him or hate him. I mean, he's built an incredible fucking business. I mean, the guy's worth probably $1 billion now, half $1 billion, whatever it is. The dude literally turned a fucking paper newspaper, a paper magazine giveaway thing, into a ginormous company, which he sold for a bunch of money. But as I was sulking, I'm like, I don't have it as bad as that guy, or as good as that guy.
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah. I mean, the media has come after him, in recent years. The good thing, or one funny thing I saw, is Congress or some board asked Roger Goodell, I don't know if you saw this, if he knew who Dave Portnoy was, and why Dave Portnoy is banned from all NFL games. And Roger Goodell was acting like he didn't know, lying to Congress when he does know. Like, and I have no idea who that guy is. And they brought up, oh, he interviewed the president, and so you don't know who this guy is, but the president, making this big deal is pretty funny.
Dude, so I was scrolling through Dave Portnoy's video, and sure enough, Roger Goodell, and he's like, "Did you guys see this viral video?" And they're like, he was on a podcast or something, and they're like, "No, what are you talking about?" Apparently Roger Goodell wiped a booger on some girl on fucking television when they were doing the live draft. And sure enough, they showed the video of him wiping a booger on this chick. I'm like, what the? If you're wiping boogers on people, good God, you are a horrible person. You are absolutely a dirtbag. Just absolutely cracked me up.
Nancy Pelosi is even more of one, elbowing that girl, the little girl, when her mom was getting sworn in for Congress. Did you see that one?
No, I did not see that.
Oh, yeah. That was, so yeah. Well, but yeah, so there's just some really douchey people that are at the head of certain things, and yeah, it's who we have.
Dude, what do you think about Dave Portnoy's fucking pizza review? Have you seen those?
Yeah, oh yeah, I watched them. After a while, like, how many pizza reviews can I see?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're good. I will say, One Bite Pizza is probably one of the best frozen pizza out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you haven't tried it. I'd say a frozen pizzas. It's definitely on the top of the list.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. It welcome
Yeah,
to the Action Takers podcast. We give pizza reviews and talk about other creators. It's dude, no, dude, that guy, like, it's funny because like Dave is one of those people who love him or hate him. He is a fucking ballsy motherfucker, and I love it. Like, have you seen this champagne bottle where he has his enemies engraved on it? And every time
oh
one of
yeah,
his enemies like goes down, he pops a bottle of champagne. And it's like, it's
yeah,
like a $400 bottle of champagne. But dude, it just, I fucking love that fucking fire. Like, I don't know if,
yeah. He just doesn't. He epitomizes not giving a fuck and doing what he wants to do. And I mean, it's brought him great success. So I mean, that's what, whether it's creating content or doing, whatever it is you do is, yeah, you have to run to the beat of your own drum and do it your way. And usually it's going to pan out the right way. I mean, because so many people aren't, right. Everyone is so afraid of to put stuff out there, to say things, because they're afraid of what these people out there are going to say or think of them, right. Like all these comments you got, like, so people will not do things, not work the way they want to work, not say the things they want to say, create the content, because they're just afraid of these opinions. And he's someone that you should definitely want to follow and try and emulate, because he's been so successful doing his things, his own way, whether it's years ago when he got arrested for protesting at the NFL headquarters, which is why he's banned from every single NFL game or all the NFL stadiums, to, just doing pizza reviews or yelling at this lady back and saying he doesn't really care because, yeah, he's built something, is successful. And that's the kind of whole thing of, Barstool, right? It's just kind of, you're sitting around, talking on the bar stool at a bar or wherever, that's where the real stuff comes out. So that's kind of what that business was kind of, created around of being real. So
is but so my question to you would be, is Dave Portnoy a guy who would you want as much fame as he has? Like, would you want to be as famous as him?
I mean, yeah, see, the thing is funny. Like, I've come to realize too, with fame and especially with people that are more known on social media, that it's all kind of relative, right? Because yes, he is famous, but I think in only certain realms, because I'm sure you can talk to a lot of people and a lot of people aren't going to know who he is at all, right? But if you follow sports at all, or, you're going to know. But then there's other people, like, same thing. People, we know Gary Vee, he's out there, but there's still people that who you say, hey, you know who Gary Vee is? Like, I'm sure I can ask my dad, or just someone, they'd be like, who the hell's that? Right. So it's like, it's, yes, these people are famous, but I think that their famousness is enough to deal with. It's not like maybe a movie actor who's more well known. But yeah, I think his level of fame is a good amount, because yeah, there are a lot of people that know him, but at the same time, there's probably millions of more that don't have no idea who he is. So,
dude, I would love it and hate it. I would also hire a big ass fucking security guard if I was him.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
I'm sure he does off camera. He's got some guy who just fucking used
Oh
to be
yeah,
a Navy SEAL or some shit. I would chase that fame. I'm chasing that fame. Good God, one of these days I'll get there. If I keep pissing people off on TikTok, I think I'm gonna be fucking on my way.
I mean, why not do that in the golf world? You can be the that outside, because that's what honestly what the golf world needs. It's gotten there. It's gotten closer to this more fun atmosphere with what's that golf course in Arizona? Where is it in Arizona where there's cheering and stuff is actually allowed?
Yeah, the Waste Management Open. It's
yeah.
at TPC Scottsdale. It's a fucking if there's one golf tournament that you fucking should watch and or attend, it's that one. Because that place is a fucking party. My wife was watching that golf tournament and she's like, why isn't every golf tournament's like this? And I'm like, I don't know. No clue. I mean, screaming fans and shit. It's great.
Tradition,
beer
right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. That's where you're going towards, right? Being that outside person per se, as far as different than everyone else in the sports world or in the golf world of the Aloha Press and talking. So I mean, I think you're on your way. You just got to keep at it.
You just got to keep going. So I was, we were out at the lake this weekend and we're fucking sitting there drinking beer, fucking smoking a cigar. And one of my buddies, he introduced me to one of his new buddies who just moved from Portland to Atlanta, and he's like, "Oh, dude, what do you do?" And he's like, "Oh man, this guy runs a golf podcast." And the guy's like, "Dude, that's so legit. Like, how many followers do you have?" And I'm like, "Not very many, but like we're on our way." And he's like, "Dude, just keep going." And I'm like, "Well, why? Like, why you keep going? Like, you know nothing about golf. Like, what advice do you have for me?" He's like, "Dude, I've got a couple buddies who literally they started a podcast 8-10 years ago. Now they have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and that's all they do now. All they do is fucking podcasts. All they do is bullshit with their buddies every single week, couple times a week, and that's their fucking job." He's like, "Dude, these guys fucking crush it." And I'm like, "Dude, you're speaking my fucking language."
We are on our way with this podcast. We will have numerous podcasts eventually, right? That's all it's going to be, right?
Fucking it, dude. We got we're at episode 20. I can see our podcast being acquired by someone, like a big company that's like, "All right, I need these two dipshits to fucking drive some traffic to the old HubSpot or what, Microsoft. I don't know what temp company would want to sign us up, but dude, I think there's an avenue of path, and I think you just got to keep fucking grinding. You just got to keep going. You can't quit. You can't stop taking action."
Definitely. I mean, yeah, that's the and also, but keep your standards up with it, right? Because I mean, anyone can be like, "Oh, don't quit, keep doing certain things," but if you're doing something shitty, you're not going to get anywhere, right? You can work out every single day, but if you're not doing a quality workout, it ain't going to really matter, right? So, yes, keep going, keep grinding. I think that outlasts your competition because let them quit before you, and then you'll be there at the top at the end.
Well, dude, I think I mean, the gym is a great example. If you go in the gym and you just put your blinders on and you don't fucking pay attention to anyone else lifting weights, and you're the one dipshit that's doing, upright rows with fucking, kettlebells and fucking, dumbbells all at the same time, you're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But if you go in with the attitude of like, I'm going to get after it for the next 8-10 years, but I'm going to learn the process on the way. Like, our first episode, I guarantee you, is not as good as our 20th episode. I just know it's not. It's fucking way better. Yeah. Our systems are better. Our fucking mics are better. Our camera's better. You got a fancier hat on. I mean, it's fucking, you know what I mean? Like, it just takes some time. And I think oftentimes, like, people give up right before they have any success. Because I think it just takes those fucking reps. Like, I was telling my wife, and I'm like, fuck, I feel like when I started this new business that I got to go through these like 1 to 3 years of just learning, of just fucking trial and error, just failing, and just throwing shit against the wall and see if it fucking works.
Well, I mean, that's where we learn the most from our failures. I mean, it's you actually going through the process. I think we talked about this too, right? I mean, we read these books, we try and learn from these people so we don't make the exact same mistakes. But if anything I've ever done, and whenever my parents would tell me don't do this, like, you still had to do it because you need to learn for yourself. That's how you, your parents always want you to learn from their mistakes, but you just sometimes have to learn from your own mistakes. And I'd say, I mean, any of the mistakes I've made have brought me the most success long-term because I've learned the most from those.
Well, it's one of those things. If you want to learn from Nate and I, you can do that. You can book an appointment with us to sit down and chat with us. You got to pay us a little finder's fee. But if you head over to actiontakerspod.card, CARRD.co, you can find our link there. And also, if you can do us a favor, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification when one of these episodes comes up. It'll fucking hit you in the face, and you can get a little motivation for your week.
Exactly. Leave us a comment, even if it's a negative comment, so we can get all pumped up
negative
and hate on the things we're saying. Tell us we're dumb or we're stupid, or you don't like my hat, or I don't know, whatever. You don't like my beard, whatever you want to say. Yeah. Just give us some interaction so we can comment back, respond, and tell you how you're wrong. But thank you.
Yes, we will tell you you're wrong. I have no problem fucking battling people on the internet. Just because I'm that crazy or that confident if I see you in person. It's so, dude, Nate, let's we got a couple minutes left on the Zoom call. Really appreciate it, buddy. Have a great week. Fucking, as always, just take some action, I guess.
It's about drive, it's about power. We stay hungry, we devour. Put in the work, put in the hours, and take what's ours.